Hello, it's been a while, but it's nice to be back. It's been a very pleasant bank holiday afternoon here. The windows are nice and open, it's nice and warm, so if you hear a distant ice cream van or something, it's perfectly normal. Um, Been quite busy lately, working, but the records always come and go sometimes as well. And actually, I was cleaning out my old family home. We've been selling it off, so cleaning out the attic there, and finding lots of little gems from my adolescence in there. Lots of cassettes. I was big into my cassettes then, but I don't have a cassette player unfortunately, so maybe one day I'll get the chance to go through them. But I've been finding loads of these magazines, which has been great. Big Daddy magazine. What a great magazine this was. From the early 2000s, I think. It was sort of hip hop, funk, soul. Before the internet and YouTube and all of that, this was the sort of Bible to find out about all of that sort of stuff. And these magazines themselves actually fetch quite a sum now. So really pleased to find them. Really interesting to read them. And it's an odd magazine because it will all be about like a whole special on David Axelrod or something, and then something about obscure hip hop from Nottingham because it was a Nottingham-based magazine. But yeah, some great stuff on here, and it's interesting reading these magazines 20 years later to see how the appreciation of certain albums has changed over the years. Like there's a review of the first MF Doom album, and they're like, yeah, it's quite good. And now it's hailed as a complete classic, where there's other albums which everybody's getting very excited about, which nowadays people are a bit more indifferent about. So anyway, great to read through all of those and find lots of other stuff. I had loads of this. Rap Pages was a really great American magazine in its era. It went a bit rubbish at the end, I seem to recall, but there's a nice one with the Roots. Was a good one. HipHop Connection, that was another one I used to read a lot. I think I got rid of all my copies of Echoes magazine, and I used to get Blues and Soul magazine. I had loads. I was well into the magazines, but I suppose the internet's sort of done for all of that, but life moves on, I suppose. Records then. So let's start with some hip hop. Now this was a record which a lot of people don't know about, but really should. It's a classic record from a classic era, 1992. It's called The School of Hard Knocks. And that's the name of the group. I don't know what the rappers are called or anything, I have to say, but it's an absolute classic of storytelling raps, quite politically charged, and it's just amazing that this record never really blew up in the way that a lot of other records from that era did. I guess it's probably to do with record company promotion or lack of record company promotion, but this is amazing. The MC on it, the rapper, is fantastic. The production is lovely as well. Lots of just great samples of that time. It's 1992, so that's a pretty high period in hip hop music. If you don't know this record and you like hip hop, definitely worth checking out. Just go for the first song, "Dirty Cop Named Harry." Classic stuff. So thoroughly recommended that. It fetches quite a lot these days now, this record, and I found it in a shop. And they were selling it at a very reasonable price. And because it's a shop near me which is going to close down soon, I thought, well, I might not get the opportunity to find records like this again, so it was worth it, definitely. Another great find from a different shop up in East London. This is Gene Ammons, a nice sort of soul jazz sax player, and really great grooves on this, really nice. And the kind of day like today, it's the kind of music that you want to play. The big song here, Jungle Strut, lovely stuff. Beautiful, really good. And here was a nice one. A bit battered, but an absolute classic that everyone should have in some shape or form. This is Simande, and this is their first album. This is actually a second UK pressing, I should say, which unfortunately is not a gatefold, which would be nice if it was. Very battered, as you can see. The cover's very tatty, and the record itself has seen better days. But yeah, it's got some of their biggest numbers on here. The Message, obviously, Dove, Bra is really nice, and it's just lovely. That mix of funk and soul. Reggae obviously is there, and rock is very heavy influence there, I think you can feel. Really, really amazing stuff. Yeah, the record is an unusual one. It plays fine, apart from a few age crackles, but you can see the record itself is all marked. The plastic inner sleeve left a real horrible imprint on it. I guess that's to do with damp or something like that. But plays fine, so can't complain too much. Maybe I should find a new sleeve for it though. It doesn't seem to come off trying to clean it. There's their second album, which I've had for a while, which is great as well. It doesn't have so many of their famous songs in it, but it's just the sound that they make is wonderful. I'd really like to look out for their third one. I think Mr. Bongo done a nice reissue of that one, so I might have a look, see if I spoil myself there, because that's got other great stuff on it as well. So yeah, really nice to have that. I mean, Simon Mandy first album, I think everyone should have it. I believe there's a documentary coming out very soon about the band, which will be fascinating to see. And I know that first album, it's not always the easiest to find. There are lots of reissues of it, but they seem to be quite pricey, I think. But definitely worth checking out if you can. Now this is a record I had already on a slightly dodgy bootleg, so I got an original copy and you can tell the difference. And this original copy is very nice, very reasonably priced. John Lucian, and he's a wonderful artist. I think I can probably say with some security that he's the only artist in my collection from the British Virgin Islands, but maybe not, who knows. But yeah, this is a wonderful album, and this album in particular I think is in the hearts of many collectors and soul boys, mainly because of the song Would You Believe in Me, nice funky mellow jam. But there's lots of other great stuff on here that's really worth checking out. His other albums have all pretty much got some decent stuff going as well, but I think this is the main one to look out for. Yeah, so I had the bootleg, which I got ages ago, and I saw this and I thought, well, I might as well get this. Maybe I'll listen to it a bit more that way, and I do. I think so. It's a really nice one to have. I really recommend this because for a day like today, you know, when you just want to be on a Caribbean island, or South London feels a bit like a Caribbean island, then why not? And finally, just to finish up, a couple of records which I picked up. Now, I don't really think I should use the word holy grail, but they are certainly records that I have been looking for a very, very, very long time, and was really pleased to finally find them in a record fair in North London, where I went a few weeks back, and fairly reasonably priced. Now, they're obviously they're reggae 12 inches, so they have a little crackle to them, but I think I've discovered that alongside cockroaches, reggae 12 inches are basically indestructible, and they can look completely battered and trodden on, but they play fine, and these are no exception. So this is a lovely one on the D-Roy label, Cassandra. Thank you for the many things you've done. It's originally a Betty Wright song, I think, but I've been looking for that one for many, many years. I believe it appears on the Babylon soundtrack, but really nice to have the 12-inch there. Lovely, lovely stuff. Lovers Rock magic, that is. And then this one, which is also in the same vein, but a bit more of a soul influence going on here, by an artist called Melina Carone. Just ignore the cover. This is a generic reggae sleeve, but a bit saucy, I suppose. Special Kind of Love. Really great, this one as well. And it has shot up in price recently, and the guy was selling it very decently because it looks a bit trodden on, but plays fine. And this is always quite expensive as well, because the B-side is a real one for the roots and culture people. Carry Us Beyond by Human Cargo, which I believe is actually Aswad. And yeah, very sought after this for both sides. But yeah, lovely to get those, and I never thought I'd be able to get them not on the internet and for a very reasonable price. So really pleased with that. That's what I've been doing lately. Hope everybody else is well. I haven't seen so many videos lately. Like, people aren't making them so much. Maybe they're just getting lost in all the other stuff that comes through on my feed, but I do enjoy watching them, so keep making them. I'll put a few samples on as always. Till next time.
anyway. Here's how it begins. Started in the Bronx, ended up in Manhattan. A cop with a label on his head. Financially overfed, now he's wanted dead. A big drug bust on the Lower East Side. 5 Colombians shot, 5 Colombians died. Little did he know or could he tell, the 5 he killed were Colombian drug cartel. Now he has a bullet with his name on it, without apology and without shame on it. 2 million in cash, 3 million in coke. This type of loot he only took as a joke. He stashed 1 million in cash, 2 million of the white stuff. A hard day's work without the use of his handcuffs. At the station he files his report. 5 corpses who won't make it to court. Self-made millionaire. Then he doesn't bury, he condemns him to a wheelchair. He's spending money like a movie star, unaware his last car is his Jaguar.